What's up, everyone? This is Jake Minig, host of Therapist Talks. Today, we're in for another awesome, amazing show, another reaction video. This one's a little new. Stavvy's World. He's a extremely good comedian. Forgot his full name. He's a Greek comedian. He's hilarious. He's one of my new favorite comedians, even though he's been around for a while. But I love his podcasts and YouTube videos because he'll his format's usually having a guest on the show or two guests or whatnot, and then they'll do like an hour introduction, or they have particular topic, let's say, and then they get into answering like fans' questions. So some fans will call in live. He does that like once a month or twice a month, whatever, and just talks to them kind of like over the phone or whatnot while he's on his YouTube or on live. And then a lot of times people will call his number, like as you see right there, and like leave a voicemail about their everyday life issues. And he gives like kind of like therapeutic advice, even though he always says he's not a therapist or he doesn't give therapy on the show. But again, he always encourages people to go to counseling. He's very pro mental health, and I do have to say, as a licensed therapist, he does give pretty good advice regarding people's like life situations, and he has a lot of really good insight into issues. He's like I said, very pro therapy. He's been in therapy for a while, and he's not ashamed of that. I mean, he feels it's really helped him, and yeah, so he's always talking about it. So huge fan of the show. Again, and just as a comedian, he's hilarious too. But I will just be reacting off of his video, and I felt like this is gonna be a good one. Uh, titled "I think my therapist is trying to dump me." So I think this is gonna be a really good one. Me as a licensed therapist, I'll give my reaction to it. But again, just always know I do not diagnose people on my YouTube videos. I do not give therapy. It's just a therapeutic reaction. So without further ado, let's begin.
Eldest, longtime listener, first time caller. I just have a question about therapy. I know that you are a mental health champion warrior. I don't know. I have three kids, and my oldest is 11. My youngest is almost 2. And after my youngest was born, I was having kind of bad postpartum depression, so I started seeing a therapist regularly, and it's been really nice. I was seeing her once a week, and now I do it twice a week. And the reason for my call is she has been talking to me about graduating therapy, and my initial reaction is just kind of like, is she sick of me?
Oh, wow.
Because is that normal for a therapist to like try to dump you, basically?
So I'll just step in right here. I just always find it fascinating how people use the term graduating therapy, or even therapists use that. I've never used that term. Like you graduate therapy from me. Again, I'm not knocking any therapist who does it. It's just not my particular style or language that I like to use. And I've said this in my previous videos. So my style when it comes to meeting with the client is, well, either maybe start out weekly or bi-weekly, and also if they have a particular preference too. And then again, we'll graduate to, again, sometimes bi-weekly, and then after that, monthly. We'll see them for once a month for a period of time, and then it's kind of a mutual thing. We'll bring up the conversation of like, hey, how's it going? What are you thinking about moving forward? Do you feel like it's appropriate to take a break? And then I always give them option like, hey, if something happens 3-4 months down the road, yeah, call me. We could reset something up and re-engage back again. Um, so it is a good sign uh, that they're meeting their goals. And again, I don't know how long this woman has been seeing her therapist or whatnot. It seems like she really gets along with them. I hope that she's making really good progress. But I'm like she's mentioning she's having a fear of, oh, is she going to graduate me and dump me when I still need her? Um, so again, every therapist has their own style or preference in how to do this. Again, you never want to keep someone in therapy for no reason. But then also you want them to have some emotional autonomy when it comes to their everyday life and how they're handling their issues and using their coping skills. And you want them to, again, apply those in their everyday lives. So yeah, they make improvements. But anyways, I'll continue watching.
That's how it feels on my end.
Hold on, pause this.
Because
if you're going for physical therapy because you fucked your elbow up,
yeah,
and your elbow starts to get better, and the guy's like,
Whoa,
"Hey,
you got to come back forever.
Instead of 2 times a week, why don't we do 1?" And then eventually your elbow's not, because you like, he's not dumping you. He's just thinking that the amount of time you need the medicine is over or the treatment is over. But anyway, so don't take it personal. That's number 1. But keep going, Eldest.
I like having like the check-in and a neutral party, and
nothing wrong with that.
It gives me a whole different perspective that I'm not able to access on my own. So I was just wondering what your thoughts are on that. And also, I have kind of bad self-esteem because I have really small boobs. And do you think I should get a boob job? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. Okay.
Will my therapist still love me if I get a tit job?
Oh,
what are we
God.
talking about here?
In person or Zoom?
You got the solution. Why do we
That went straight into left field really quick. Oh boy.
bury the lead? That's all you need, baby girls. A big fat set of honkers.
It'll be like the
What are you
Wizard of
wasting
Oz
your
when it all goes
time?
into color.
Yeah. The hell are you wasting your time for blabbing about shit that doesn't matter? Get a fat pair and
here's the
that'll
only-
solve it all.
Here's the only question you got to ask about this therapist thing and how she, wants to see less.
Again, I love these shows, and the guests most of them are pretty funny. Awesome. I think they fuck around a little too much sometimes, and they get way off topic. Which, if I like the comedian and whatnot, they're funny. Like I'm cool with. But then if the comedian's like really annoying and not funny, it just kind of irritates me, especially when it's a big issue.
Have you come in for fewer sessions and then eventually graduate? She's asking you, you should pay me less money.
Yes.
That's a tangible
That's actually
thing where
a
you can go,
good sign
Yeah.
for a therapist to be like, you don't need this as much, and you might not need it at all. Because I think I know plenty of people, especially in fucking entertainment. I mean, fucking, we make fun of Sarah all the time about how all she does is go to therapy. But like, I know people whose fucking therapists, it feels like they're keeping them on the hook.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, because like
a bad golf pro.
Totally
Keep coming back for lessons.
Like, and
that would not surprise me. I think there is a point therapy can be too much, but again, the client there, it's a mutual decision. That's how it should be done in a healthy way. But yeah, I'm not surprised that there's therapists out there that will continue to see a client for weeks and weeks and weeks, and again, not really talk about progress. Like that's the main point I'm getting at, is that obviously a client comes in the session for goals, and as a therapist, you want to help them meet their goals. And I guess that's one of the reasons why like treatment plans and are good, because they show you kind of goals that you want to achieve with the client when it comes to behaviors like symptom management and whatnot. So you want to be able to track your progress over time. But again, you should and again, check-ins are fine too. I feel like check-ins are always beneficial too, to an extent. But yeah, it's just making sure both parties are on the same page. But yeah, it would not surprise me if there's therapists out there who, let's just say, really, really need the money, and they just constantly just do check-ins with the client just because they need the money and whatnot, which again is not ethical and can cause a lot of damage and whatnot emotionally, possibly. So that's my kind of viewpoint on that too, is that what good are you doing the client? And when I was in grad school, a professor said something really interesting, and I agree with, is that when a counselor and client are in session, an outsider should be able to look into that office and see the two people talking and know who is the therapist and who is the client, who is the professional and who is the client, where it should not look like, in a way, two friends are talking or just chilling, having coffee, talking about everyday life stuff without any direction. Again, I don't know what this lady's therapy sessions are. So again, I don't know if Stavvy's going to get into this, but I would ask this female listener calling in or whatnot, like, yeah, it's great that you enjoy spending time with your therapist. You get different perspectives for sure. Like, every session, are they helping you reach your therapeutic goals? Are they helping you in some type of way other than just everyday like life check-ins or I don't know, like life stuff? So, anyways, I'll continue listening.
Look, I'm a big therapy guy, but we've also talked about how therapy is like, you should be going for a reason. You
Mhm.
shouldn't just go to have a friend you pay. You
Yes.
should go for specific stuff.
Get tangible stuff out of it, practices, schedules, whatever it is,
Yeah.
meditation type stuff, goals to set and check in on. It's got to be,
And like,
specific.
and for me, I
I've
go to
never been
therapy. Yeah. You definitely couldn't use it.
You never had so you never had a therapist quit on you?
I've never had a therapist quit on me. Have you?
Yeah.
Really? What
Oh,
happened?
I was like thinking about. I was worried about self-harm. I was very depressed. I was
Yeah.
like riding my bike in front of like traffic and stuff. And
That's so funny to be like
Mm.
suicidal. And there's being like, it's too much for me.
You'll figure it out.
Mm.
Literally, I was like, I know our session's next week. Can we move it up a week? I just need to talk to somebody. She was like, I'm busy. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, is there anybody else you could talk to? And she's like, all right, I moved some things around. I got you. So I'm on the computer, zooming, and I just started.
Oh God, that is so horrible. I hope that wasn't again. I wasn't a fly on the wall, but Jesus, holy cow. Again, I always make this offer to my clients. Like, even for the clients that I see once a month or once every 3 weeks, whatever. I always kind of like tell them, just for safety, like if a crisis happens and you get very like emotionally overwhelmed by the crisis or whatever life situation, you can call me to or text me to reschedule to see me sooner. Now, again, I can't give you an answer right away, but I will check in my schedule to see, okay, I'm due to see the client, let's say in 3 weeks, but they're dealing with a crisis. Let me see if I have something this week or early next week to get them in sooner. I will always make that attempt before I said what this therapist said, according to this gentleman here. Like, oh God, that's hard. Even if you are busy, there's different ways to like say that. And then also it's always important to give clients resources to like the crisis hotline 988, where when they are dealing with a crisis, they have someone to call, especially like a safety plan too. I've talked about this in previous episodes of like additional support system and friends and people that they can call when they're going through emotional issues.
Like sobbing. I'm just like, I'm having a really hard time, blah, blah, blah. And she like, does the therapist nod for a while. And then she's like, I think our journey may have come to an end.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, should be your Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
Like, why are you
Final
like, this is the
exam
big
time.
time. This is like the final boss. And you're just like, no. Like that.
So again, we're human beings. And again, I don't know if this therapist was just emotionally overwhelmed, which, okay, like that's okay to admit that to yourself. Like, okay, this client is presenting with issues that I'm not able to help them out with. Like, I'm not specialized in this type of stuff, this particular trauma, this issue that they're struggling with. But again, there's so many different ways that you can handle the situation. Again, obviously getting a hold of a therapist who specializes more in what emotional issues they're going through. So then you refer them out. So it's not like you just kick them off the street or whatnot, or just saying like this is too much, because that just presents so much shame to the client when you present it like this gentleman here like said, is just like, okay, I think our journey is like in that particular moment when the client's conveying to you all their issues and what's going on. That is the most disgusting, horrendous thing a therapist could like do. And I guess I apologize if I'm getting a little emotional right now, because again, you obviously can't take everyone's like story word for word, but again, I can really actually see a therapist doing this, which is just really sickening. So yeah.
That's crazy,
And then
dude.
she dumped me.
What the fuck? Did she give you like somebody else's number, or like did she like refer you?
No,
She said you got to go see this hilarious comedian. His name is Shane O'Connor.
Let's hear all your
doctor?
ills. No, she like basically was like, yeah, I can set you up. And I was like, can you get me like a psychiatrist? I want to start like antidepressants. And she was like, it'll probably take like 3 months or something. And I was like, I kind of want to like get like hit by a bus so I can just lay down for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was just like, I just don't want this to like affect our relationship. And I was like, buddy, it's over. It's over. Like,
I mean, this is just a bad therapy.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So that's horrible. No referral source, which we're never supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure the client's taken care of. And again, it's not like you set everything up, but then you at least could like email them or text them like 3 therapists that are like in their network or whatnot, or 3 professionals that they could see, and then they could set it up. And then the psychiatrist, absolutely super important. You can give them psychiatrist information too. And then the therapist says, I don't want this to affect our relationship. Like, you affected it negatively by your actions, Mr. Therapist person. By that. And I don't know what this therapist was thinking. Again, if this is all true, but that is just really disgusting and scary.
Wait, right.
She spent most of the sessions just being like, I think your girlfriend needs to go to therapy. And I'm like,
I mean,
well,
that's crazy.
I can't. You want to talk to her?
Where'd you find this person?
Just like through my insurance at work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's also the problem, is that like it takes a while to find somebody that you like mesh with sometimes. Sometimes you go to a couple therapists and they're not good. And I had not a great one in Baltimore. I had one that I liked, but then I moved here. And then I like my therapist now, you know, I like him. He's definitely helped. But I also don't go, like, I go now like maybe once a month. Sometimes I don't even go, like sometimes now it's just a pure check-in thing.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, because I have found in the past when I thought I'm good and I don't go at all, I'll be like, oh, it's been, you know, a year and a half since I went to therapy. And then I just like have some huge fucking, you know, depressive episode where I'm like, I've just been letting shit pile up. And
The regular scheduled maintenance when you feel like nothing's wrong.
yeah. Fuck. So what happened after that? Did you find another therapist?
Yeah, so I had to like, well, then you have to interview with therapists, which just feels weird. And, like,
and you're on the verge of, and you're like, oh, I'm thinking about killing myself every day.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, just I think I'm working with like different people right now. And I was like, okay.
That's insane, dude. You were getting rejected from therapists, but you wanted to fucking.
It's crazy. It's like people don't want to challenge anymore. It's the problem with this generation.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
7-year-old therapist.
We got all these Zoomer therapists, man. You need to fucking the greatest generation.
Yeah,
I was looking for therapists recently. I swear to God, like at least half of everyone I looked up, like writes like fantasy novels on the side or something. I'm not kidding.
I know what you mean.
I was looking around like Brooklyn, and it was there's something like so crazy. Like,
well, Elvis, have you considered a 1,000-page novel about a woman with 3 tits?
Oh my god!
Every therapist has like some funny ass like side hustle, and it's like, even if you do, like, I don't want it to be so like so easy to find or something.
I know what you mean.
It
You
was
should
crazy.
be under a fucking pseudonym.
Yeah.
You should not be like, this should not be part of your like brand.
Yeah.
It's like mental
Sure.
health professional, jazz pianist.
Yeah.
It's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, I opted for that is kind of your options in New York, are like weird polyamorous fucking, you know, he, they, or the oldest Jewish person you've ever seen in your life. I opt for old Jew. I like
Wow.
that. It helps enough. It's kind of like it's for sort of like a stern figure in your life, which I think is useful. But I think
That's their last name, Stern.
yeah. So it sounds like, so we have two different perspectives here.
Yeah.
For her, I feel like I do think this is normal, especially if you went for postpartum. Now, if you feel like maybe this is her specialty is postpartum, maybe whatever, if you want to go for regular, and also to me, it sounds like you're overwhelmed. You have 3 fucking kids. You probably don't get an hour to yourself at all.
She gets 2 hours a week to herself.
That's what I'm saying. That's why that's what I'm saying is that's probably part of what's driving this like worry in her voice. Like, hey, you can't take those 2 hours away. I have to have those 2 hours where the kids can't fucking bother me, or my husband has to fucking do something, right? Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. So, look, I think it's normal. I don't think it's crazy. Sounds like your therapist is doing a better job than fucking Shane's therapist did, fucking telling him it was over.
To me, there is something suspect about like a therapist saying that to you, unless you started like your relationship with them or your sessions from the very beginning. Like, I just want to work through this whole thing, and I don't know if I need this like permanently. But if you haven't had an explicit convo like that, and it doesn't sound like they have, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
What if she went in there being like, I have very bad postpartum?
I think Stavvy's oh god, what's his name? Eldest is his producer. They were like best friends and everything. He made an excellent point. Again, it's all about communication, especially early in sessions, where again you talk about the goals and expectations. Where I would absolutely welcome a client coming in and saying to me, like, hey, I don't plan on being here for a year, 2 years, or 8 months, but you know, these are my issues. This is what I want to work on, which I think is great because it really forms like a direction where the therapeutic relationship is going to go, or where we hope for it to go. Now, again, that's not like predicting the future, thinking like everything's going to go great, but you get an idea of where you at least want to go with the client. And again, that's honest, assertive communication. Those are all healthy behaviors we want like our clients to adapt and learn. So yeah, very good on Eldest for bringing that awareness up. And sometimes it's always just good to check in if you're like 3 months in, 4 months in, like on how therapy's going. So like a lot of the times I'll encourage other therapists to just bring that conversation up, like, hey, like how we doing in therapy? Do you feel good? Do you feel good where we're going with your goals and whatnot? And again, I always try to create a safe place for my clients where they feel comfortable to express themselves. Because again, as therapists, we're not supposed to take things personally when it comes to like a client wanting to see a different therapist or it's just not working out. Because again, we want the best for the client, no matter what. Um, and if you're a therapist who doesn't, well, then you really got to check your ego and maybe think to yourself, are you in the wrong field? All right. Um, I was thinking about something else, but we'll just keep going a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And it's been 2 years seems to be about the time where the kid's like not an infant anymore. It's a toddler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It definitely could be a little weird. And either way, even if they are,
Therapy should always be like a chance to like tell your therapist, like, you should be like, I feel like you're trying to like get me out of the door. What's up with that? Like,
Love it. I love it that he brought that up because again, it creates openness where I can just sense that this client that or the female individual who called in like really enjoys therapy. And yeah, like Stavvy said, maybe she enjoys the 2 hours she gets to herself or hour a week or whatever. So she really just loves that time, which again, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And then yeah, like she can get through postpartum and then just work on general therapeutic stuff or whatever issues she may want as her new goals. But yeah, that is phenomenal awareness that Eldest just said is just like I would encourage the client like to speak the truth where it's just like, hey, look, I like our times together, but you're talking about like graduation and maybe I don't feel that I'm ready and that I do kind of feel like you're pushing out or pushing me out. So yeah, that'd be really great thing to say.
like bring that up to them. It's like,
they hold
therapy.
all the cards where they could be like, why do you feel that way? I'm not doing that.
How does that make you
You know
feel?
what I mean? That's
You
the
sound
hard part.
fucking crazy right now.
What are you saying, you fucking flat-chested bitch? Maybe if you had C's at least,
You
I'd
think you could
respect
feed
you.
babies with those?
That's the thing. So like, so Stavvy's a pro breast guy too. He likes all women with breasts, but there's this joke that he likes big breasted women. But yeah.
I can see why you had postpartum.
The baby's probably depressed too.
Just make sure you're getting something out of it. I think is the main, like something
Mhm.
tangible. I mean, I'm sure it feels nice to have that as part of your week, and it feels good when
Just having someone to listen that listens to you is probably so emotional benefit or very beneficial for this lady because she has 3 kids. And again, I don't know if the husband or the father's in the picture helping her out, but she's going through a lot of stress. So like once a week or whatever, you have this individual that's creating a safe, warm environment for you where you can just like vent to them and let out all your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts. And it's got to feel really, really good for this lady.
you leave the office. Like you have something that you have homework that you're doing from these sessions. You have like new habits that you formed. I think that's the big test.
She could get 2 tangible things.
Hell
That's
yeah,
true.
brother.
Go get some fat tits. No, but
Anyway, we're gonna stop right there. But I hope y'all really enjoyed this video and everything. Again, I love the support. I love the likes. Please subscribe to my show. And I just love the comments y'all have been giving me. Just the positivity and the support. I really do appreciate it, everyone. And again, I'm going to keep doing reaction videos amongst others. But if you have any more thoughts about future videos that I should be doing, please let me know. But until next time, please be well.